Yeah, I have the cold, but it's fine. I feel like I always get the cold a week before I perform.
It's God's way of telling you that you should just quit.
I wish I could. I wish I could. Yeah, I've been sick for a week. But how are you? How's life?
I'm good. I think we're doing the opposites thing again.
Opposites thing? Oh, like clothes?
No, yeah, maybe both. Like clothes. I'm wearing less clothes. You're wearing more clothes.
Yeah.
But also, like, you seem sick and haggard, and I feel like I feel good. And like, I just had a workout. I was up
Yeah.
at like 5.
Hell yeah. I slept at 9:30 p.m. and woke up at 8 p.m.,
Yeah.
which is crazy.
Which maybe that's why. Maybe that's why, because you're sick.
Yeah, I mean, I am sick. Yeah, I hate like when the sniffles come and then you wake up multiple times in the night just like suffocating on your own snot. You know what I'm talking about? When was the last time you had a cold?
I don't know if I won't wake up suffocating from my snot. No, I'll either like
Yeah.
it's either like a I'm sick where I'm getting like hot flashes or the chills, or like I'm too uncomfortable to fall asleep. But usually the mucus is like, maybe it's an issue like right in the morning when I wake up, when it's like all in the back of your throat. But I think because it's like I'm a normal mouth breather.
I see, I see, I see, I see. I think I'm a mouth breather too, but I guess this is a good segue into our topic, self-care.
How are you taking care of yourself? I also, to open self care though,
Mm,
I think self care is very contextual
mm,
and a privilege.
mm. A privilege to be able to perform self-care, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I guess self-care for me means comfort and peace of mind. So one of the best ways for me to feel like attuned to my life is if my apartment is clean, which it currently is not, because John has been working really, really extra hard in his big boy job. And yeah, things have just been piling up. I'm like, girl, you need to do things. He's off soon, so he's gonna be working. I'm putting him to work.
Poor John. Honestly, I don't mind living if I turned my computer around, like, it would drive you insane. Like, I'm
Show
just
me,
looking at
please.
don't judge me.
I will judge, but I want to see. You know what? My place kind of looks the same though. Like if I were to show
Okay,
you.
on my kitchen counters. But, like, honestly, it doesn't really bother me. Like, I'm looking at that pile and I know exactly what everything is. There's one pile in the middle that's from when I just traveled, all the shit that I packed. There's a bunch of dirty towels in the front, and in the back is shit that I ripped out of from my closet last night deciding what to wear.
Uh, wow, that would drive me nuts. John does up, or when he comes home from work, I think we talked about this. He'll shed his clothes and leave them right there. Whereas, like, you can easily just put them in the laundry hamper. Or, like, I've tried to help him out by giving him designated places to hang his clothes. Like, I have several plastic hooks next to his bed, next to the door, and he never uses them. He just puts it on the floor.
Because it's like
Takes
useless
literally
mental
0
effort.
seconds. No, 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 no.
I'm with John because I get it. I never hang up my own shit, and it's literally just like that extra. First of all, it's already annoying depending on your mobility to like take a jacket off or whatever off. And then you want me to spend time if the sleeve is like inside out, whatever, put it on and then put it on the hook. Like, girl, it could just be on the floor.
No, no, no. I think that's the ADHD talking for both of you.
But the thing is, like, what I'm saying is it's hard. My analogy before my poor analogy. This was me going into my SJW era
What's
after saying
SJW?
retards a bunch last week. Oh, social justice warrior.
Oh, okay, got it, got it, got it.
Like, it's not bothering anybody. I think it's filth versus chaos are very different to me. But that's your self care, so I can't take that away from you.
Thank you. And then what else was I saying? So I was saying clean apartment. Another way to be for me that I think is so like self-care, I feel like the two things are cleanliness and honesty. In the sense you have to be honest with yourself and with others, and that is true self-care. Like I actually have this story that I wanted to share that I haven't told you yet, but earlier this week I had a Grindr hookup where it was somebody I was messaging on Grindr for a while. And it's just like one of those things where he seemed very eager. And I appreciate that because then it means he'll work around my schedule.
Mhm.
And also, he was my neighbor, like literally right next door. So I'm
Right.
a lazy motherfucker. So out of convenience, like these were the two biggest green flags. And he was also, according to his bio, 6'5",
Oh.
and like decently attractive based on the pictures of his like face and whatever. But honestly, I was lazy in the sense that that should have been a red flag in itself. Like if somebody is that eager
And they look like that,
and they look
there's
like,
something's
yeah,
not clicking.
something is wrong. And honestly, I think I was just too lazy because I don't really have that much time for hookups anymore. So I was like, fuck it. Sure. And like he sent me his little like grinder album,
Mhm.
and the photos were just close-ups of penis, butt, face. There was nothing in between.
You always need to ask for body photos. I don't
I'm an
give a
idiot.
fuck.
I'm an
I
idiot.
like, you are dumb for
Yeah,
that.
I was so stupid because then I go over to his little place, open the door, and immediately the guy is clearly nervous. And when I say nervous, I don't just mean like he had a couple of stutters in his words. He was visibly shaking. And I'll tell you why in a minute. So we sit down on his couch and he's just like so awkward and like didn't know what to do. And we've talked about this before. I want someone to take charge. Like
Mhm.
literally, I want you to know what to do. I want you to be in tune with your body and I'm not gonna direct you. So I literally just sat there waiting, like with a
You're like,
stick.
"Impress me."
Literally,
Yeah.
do something. And then I kind of like lean forward a little. We start kissing. Anyway, he's still like not progressing. You know when it's like he's stuck in one spot and doesn't know what to do
Yeah,
next?
he's frozen in fear.
Frozen. So then I like sit on his lap thinking, okay, let me, like I get on his
Okay,
leg.
no, wasn't this mad? Like, did he look like his photos? Was
Wait, 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 wait. I'll get to it. So
because if you're doing all of this and this guy is a
no,
catfish,
no, no, no. Listen, listen. So up till this point, he wasn't as attractive as his photos. Like he had more acne, whatever, blah blah blah. But he was wearing baggy clothes. So up till this point, I don't mind bigger people. I think like
yeah,
I hook up with I love a strong belly. You know, like I love that kind of energy. But wait, wait, I'll get to it. I'll get to it. So I sit on his lap and like we're kissing again, and then he starts sweating profusely. And, like, I don't just mean, like, a couple of trickles of sweat. Like, he was red in the face, water pouring down. Like, I literally would touch his hands or skin, and it's just wet. And I know why. I'll tell you why after the story is wrapped up. Anyway, so then we're like, let's take it to the bed. And at this point, mind you, I was already thinking of ways to call it quits. Like, I'm already, like, mustering up the courage to be like, you know what? No offense, but I don't think this is working out. Like, I already was ready to leave. And
yeah.
then he takes off his shirt, and I was like, ah, this is somebody who at one point weighed 500 pounds
Oh, loose skin.
and now weighs like 250 pounds.
Okay, I got it.
So it's a little like, I don't want to be
Loose
rude,
skin.
very
There's
loose
loose skin. Yes.
and
Yes.
like
Yes.
zero firmness. And so I literally was like, I want to say something and please don't like take this the wrong way, but I don't think I can proceed with this. And he looks at me, he's like, because I'm fat? And I was like, don't say that. No, it's also because the compatibility isn't there. Like, this isn't what I thought I was getting into.
Yes, and
And then you know what he said? You know what he
yeah.
said? He was like, I mean, it's okay. I mean, he said this nervously, but he was like, it's okay. I mean, I know that the gay community is shallow. I just never experienced something this shallow in real life.
Gag. But also, you know what
No,
I'd say to the
fuck him. Fuck him, right?
no.
Because this is literally a grinder experience where we're hooking up and you're lying to me.
Okay,
Like
but
you're yeah, go
also,
ahead.
I mean, you both fucked up in many ways. Number one,
Yeah.
you didn't verify what you were getting into. Number two, I feel like all the red flags were there. Like as soon as
Yeah.
as soon as this man's like acting weird, I would be the fuck out of there. I'd
Yeah.
be like, nah.
Yeah.
Thirdly, yeah, it's like I mean, by virtue, you're right. It is because of his body is the reason you don't wanna hook up, but the point is you're hooking up, like, it is a shallow experience, like, what do you want?
Absolutely, and also
The
if
thing
you
is, if you feel like you want to sell your body to someone to enjoy and vice versa, don't fucking sell a lemon. It's like selling a rundown
exactly.
car and being like, or not run down, like, whatever. I'm not saying having loose skin is run down or having a new car, but either way, it's the same.
Honestly,
Yeah,
it's exactly that. I think the reason why he was so nervous is because he knows he was trapping me.
of
Like, he
course.
knows he was lying. Like, the thing is you're deceiving me from the get-go. You're telling me you don't love yourself, so how do you expect me to enjoy this? You know, you just were hoping I wasn't gonna say anything and go with the flow. That's fucked up, you know?
But
So,
also the thing is, it's like you don't need to kick someone when they're down. Like they just gave you a little bit of like projecting of their honestly, like that's a horrible situation to be in.
yeah. But no, I
It
didn't
sucks.
let it stop there. As I was walking out, I was like, I mean, it's not just that, it's also the fact that you were sweating profusely and shaking. I said that, and then I walked out. And he kind of was, like, gagged, I will say. Like, he was just scared and nervous but still,
But you should have said
he had
I
all
don't
the
know.
power. I mean, it was his place.
But
You're
it
the
wasn't
one
really because he was sweating and shaking because you continued it anyway.
but I was like, the thing is, Khalil,
Enough time.
it takes me time to be able to, like, actually say, "You know what? I'm uncomfortable." Like, I can't just right off
Yeah.
the bat see something I don't like and say it. Like, that's
Of
my
course,
problem.
but that's your
Yeah.
responsibility. That's
Yeah.
like your just as it's like it's his burden to carry with all his skin and whatever, it's also your I'm just saying, like, everyone has responsibility because I also, like, we do live in a world where we will project what's going on in our lives. And, like, if someone is physically sick, they get to go to a doctor, they get people coming to the hospital, they get to visit them. But if you're, like, sick in other ways that's not immediately recognizable, what does care look like? What is deserved care? Like, we just don't live in a society
Yeah.
set up for that.
Yeah. But
And
self-care oh, sorry, go ahead.
I think part of my self-care is comes from self-preservation, and that's why I let myself crash out. I let myself do what I need to do because it's like
Yeah, I get that. I feel like self-care for me in that moment was being honest. Because I think
yeah,
previous me would have just like kind of dissociated and been like, it'll be easier to just go through this than to confront him and say, you know? So that to me, like, I really felt that experience, feeling shitty and angry that he made me the villain, but
yeah.
also feeling like, bitch, you know what you did. And I felt good about it.
But if you have
So,
experience as the villain, it gets easier and easier because also I feel like as a victim and as someone who's victimized people or made people feel like a victim, you know what? It's just like it's like being versatile in this world. Sometimes you fuck, sometimes you get fucked. I think everyone needs to experience both
yeah,
or else I don't know, what else are you here for? Like, I'm sorry you didn't have a perfect life,
yeah,
but, like,
yeah,
I don't know, it's more fun.
I agree.
Anyway, I have a list of questions today. So what's
Go.
the dumbest thing you've ever done in the name of self-care?
Probably Grindr hookups. Damn, I hate that
Mm.
this is just turning into that. But sex for me is like the stupidest way for self-care.
But is that self-care or self-harm?
Mm. Thing is, it's
Hmm.
a 50-50 shot because sometimes you have bomb-ass sex. So again, oh my God, I'm such a whore. You're right. Because
I
after that,
think what you're trying to say is you seek out human connection when you're feeling sad or you need some
maybe,
self-care.
maybe. Because then after that experience, another person might have been like, okay, that's that for today. I'm not gonna try again. I tried again, and thankfully the second time around was really good. Like this person. I've seen them at the gym too, so I was like, okay, I know what you
You've rebounded, okay.
yeah. But that to me feels like it's a hit of dopamine. See, the thing is I guess maybe there's different kinds of self-care. It's not long-lasting self-care. It's
Right.
instant gratification where like I
Like
feel
food,
good.
this is
Yeah,
a more unhealthy source of fuel.
I agree. I agree. Where you kind of feel like, yeah, I'm the shit. That was good. Blah blah blah. But then it doesn't last you very long.
What I do, I guess I mean, I always talk about how I'm not really in my hoe era anymore, and not to sound holier than thou, but I really feel like I've had a healthier relationship with sex in that regard, where I now understand that I don't need to, like, do that to make myself feel better, because what I actually want is someone to just, like, see me and hang out with
Mhm.
me and, like, do something fun. And the other part of that is, like, honestly, usually when I'm going through the process of, "Oh, should I hook up?" I always come to the conclusion, I'm like, "Nah, it's gonna be easier to just masturbate and then
Yeah.
do something fun with somebody fun in an asexual manner and keep my romantic life romantic." For me, my stupid self-care, though, is I spend stupid amounts of money on, like, whatever. Like, I'll be out and I'll be like, "I'm not thinking about my budget today." Like, anything I desire is like, "Anything for you, baby girl." Like, I'm my own sugar daddy.
But I love
I'll like
that.
it's honestly, it's gotten I'm just like actually, no, it actually is a kinda healthy form of self-care.
Yeah.
Fuck saving money, like,
Yeah.
fuck money, it comes
Yeah,
and
what's the
goes.
point? I agree. I agree.
But if you're bipolar and manic, like, you could get yourself into a lot of credit card debt. Here's the thing, like, sometimes my advice is for bitches who know what they're doing.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
don't know what you're doing, you can't be doing this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You can't have a manic episode and decide you want to repaint your house 10 different colors and buy it.
No, and it's not like I'm like, "Oh, when I wanna go and make myself feel better, I'm not going into Louis Vuitton and shopping." I'm shopping at places where it's like,
Or you're getting
"Honey,
an Uber.
I'm getting an Uber today, yeah. Oh, when I went to the street festival, I am gonna get the $15 watermelon smoothie," like,
Yeah.
rather than,
Like,
worry about budgeting and stuff. That's as stupid as it gets for me.
yeah, I can see. I feel like you're very regimented. I can't see you like doing things that don't make sense
What's something that you did this week that wasn't just for you?
this week. That was not just for you. I feel like a lot of things I do is not just for me because I live with someone. So I have to keep in mind food for both of us, especially since
Mm.
he's busy. So I'm like doing everything else. I'm doing like I'm doing the laundry now and it's mostly his shit. Because oh, actually I'm curious. When you wear something, do you immediately say like done, I can't wear this again, washer, or do you wear it multiple times?
Everything is worn at least, like, twice or 3 times, yeah.
I'm the same way, but for some reason John can only wear a shirt once and then it has to be washed.
But maybe he's also sweaty.
I think so. I think that's what it is. Because I literally will wear like literally our laundry is always 1/6 my stuff, the rest is his stuff.
So
So
you're doing laundry
I'm
for
doing
John
his
all the
laundry.
time.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Stuff like
For me, maybe this is also I feel like what I do for all the time is I'm very visible.
mm,
Like, I'm out there. Like, I wear my little Palestine stuff. I'm always like, I feel like I'm very visibly queer. I'm always graffitiing stuff for, like,
yeah.
Palestine. Maybe that's also a little bit for me, but also isn't everything that we do for other people also a little bit for us?
True.
Like, it
True.
does like, anytime you do something, it's like, your relationship with John, you do stuff
Yes.
for John to continue your relationship that
True.
benefits you.
True, true, true.
Do I do anything that's, like, not purely, like, based on my identity or own interests?
Hmm.
I think I give people advice. I'll be like, "Bitch,
Whether
you
they
shouldn't
want to
wear
hear it
that."
or not.
But the thing is, honestly, good advice, sometimes you don't wanna hear.
Very fair. I agree. A lot of people who are not ready to receive advice or change don't.
But what also, I don't even believe in that. This is the thing. In this world, I feel like the only thing we're actually owed is, like, no one should be, like, physically harmed. Like, you deserve, like, a physical well-being. Like, you should be fed, you should have shelter, and no one should be, like, coming up to, like, kick your ass.
Right.
But I don't think I have to sit here and validate everyone's tea. Like, your tea is valid, but it's on you to make your own tea feel valid. I'm not gonna sit
Fair.
here, and if I don't feel like your shit's valid, so what?
But then I guess isn't it also valid for somebody to say not associate with somebody that they feel like is gonna make them feel crappy because they don't want that confronted or dealt with?
It depends on what it is, though, because it's like I think people confuse uncomfortability with like, not being safe, and those 2 things are very different.
Mm.
And it's
It-
like, "Well, why are you uncomfortable?"
Like when
I don't know, there's many different situations, and, like, sometimes it's like, "Yeah, T, I would also be uncomfortable and wouldn't wanna fuck with that." But other times it's like, "Really, girl? Get over yourself."
yeah, but if somebody was bringing up something to me that I just don't want to talk about constantly, I probably wouldn't want to talk to them.
Yeah, but I don't know. It also I mean, the thing is, it's just like give them like the thing is, I feel like you should let them know, hey, I don't think this tea is valid.
Okay.
And then they'll like get the tea. You know what I mean? Like you can't you I think giving everyone a fair shot is putting it out there. Like, hey, you're being really like annoying today.
Yeah. And just being honest.
Just being honest. And then maybe they'll be honest with you and be like, oh, actually, you know what? This bad thing happened to me that I'm trying to like not talk about.
If somebody tells you that, do you actually sit and think about it, or try to do you like what say, well, you're ugly? As in
Oh, if someone says I'm being annoying,
yeah.
I think I usually go for, like, justifications. I'm like, "Well, why did I do that?"
Okay.
Like, I usually because so I know I do a lot of random shit, but it usually does come from somewhere. So I am quick to, like, analyze, like, "Yeah, why did I do this?" Because I do in my mind, I'm very principled, so I'm like, "Does this align with me? Like, where did it come from? Why?" And then I
Mm,
try to offer an explanation.
got it. Yeah. I feel like
I'm like, "Does it align with who I wanna be? Does it not align with who I wanna be?" That depends.
yeah, the people pleaser in me, I feel like will think about that second. First, think about how to like end the acrimony, if that's the right words.
Mhm.
But then yeah, I think about that too, but it takes me longer. I don't immediately think about it.
I just feel like no one's ever really trying to people please me, so, like, why the fuck should I please anybody else?
No, I
Especially,
also
again,
think,
as queer Palestinians, like, our families don't try to please us. Society is not trying to please us. Like,
right.
what the fuck do you guys expect from me?
That's true. That's true. See, it's so interesting. You could have gone a completely different route and personality type as somebody, because normally the people pleasers are the ones who have never been pleased themselves because they
Oh,
would try
yeah.
to like overcompensate to get people to like them. You know what I mean? But
Mm.
you went the other direction of I don't give a shit what you think of me.
I think I want people to respect me, but I don't need them to like me.
Yeah,
I think I need
I
people to
guess.
see that, like, I'm a bad bitch and I'm smart. You don't need to like that,
Yeah.
but, like, just know that. That's it.
Right. Right. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Were you taught self-sacrifice or self-preservation growing up?
Oh, very much self-sacrifice. I think that's like
Mhm.
our culture, right? Like we do
It's
things
very
for other people.
self-sacrifice. But the thing is, it's patriarchal, right? Like,
Hmm.
for me, I feel like it was self-sacrifice, so your dad and your seed will look good, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Oh my
it's
God.
not self-sacrifice for, like, a greater good, it feels like self-sacrifice for this corrupt regime.
Right, but actually, I feel like in my regime, it was also I think it's also because they sacrificed, like, the older generation, like, my parents
Yeah.
gave up so much for their parents and
And
for
I
each other.
same, and I saw my dad had so much resentment
Right.
for his parents because
Right.
he was, like, struggling, 3
Yeah.
kids,
Yeah.
working 2 jobs, sending money back home,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I remember my sister wanted braces, but my dad's youngest brother was getting married, and so she had to wait a year to fix her snaggle mouth as, like, a teenage girl because
So,
her uncle, like, living back home,
yeah.
needs to have a wedding, and I don't know, my grandparents were
Right.
very like, there was some confusion about, whether they had money because they also had lots of kids who were also living in America and Canada
Mm.
working very hard. So it's like they were getting perhaps a little bit greedy according to some, like scarcity mentality, right?
Yeah.
And starting want more and more and more and
Yeah.
more. And it's
Yeah.
just like,
I
girl,
think
like we don't live the lives in Canada that like as two Palestinians in diaspora as like people back home think that we do.
right.
All the time.
No.
I mean, we definitely, as gay guys, live privileged lives, but if you're, like, a straight person with kids, you're fucking struggling.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
that
not
shit's
easy.
not easy. You don't have money coming out the ass and, like,
Absolutely.
you're, like, living how they live on, like, the TV shows that, people think that we live.
Right, absolutely, and actually, I'm in debt right now because I bought every time before I come home, my parents and my sister will ask for me to buy them things, which is fine. It's like my small contribution, but it actually put me over, and I'm not gonna tell them that, but that was kind of like my sacrifice. But wait, I want to go back to the sacrificing of our parents. I feel like because they did it and they feel good about not good because they hate their lives. I think they sacrifice so much for their parents and their families. Just like you said, my parents, exactly the same situation. My mom probably married my dad only because she had to, not because she
Mhm.
wanted to. And then having kids, I can see how subconsciously, without even thinking about it, you start developing expectations of your offspring to do the same for you. Like, for example, my mom, I remember when deciding career paths, she had a very big say in my choice. I will say that. I wanted to be an English major, and she put a stop to that. Or you know what I mean? Like, I feel like or like getting married even like now we're at the age where for them us being gay I feel like a lot of the reason why it frustrates them is because they
Mhm.
want that picturesque family of like marrying women and having kids again because it's a sacrifice that they see is worthy of their struggle. They don't
And straight
get
up
that.
jealousy.
Right, they don't exactly jealousy that we get to live our lives and like, it kind of breaks down their own lives when we get to make choices that are outside the realm of possibility for them. Makes them realize, actually, you had choices too. You just chose wrong.
But I think they also I mean, we'll never be able to know what they were exactly doing then at that time, but I treat everyone like they're also me. So it's like I know my mom and dad were thinking like I could do this crazy other thing instead.
Mm,
But then, oh, that's scary. Oh, people are gonna be mad. Oh, let me just it'll be easier to just go along with it.
yeah.
And it's like if you do like if you hooked up with that loose skin guy, who could you blame with
Other
but
than me.
yourself for that experience?
Exactly.
So, like, don't get mad at me because you bitched out and decided to get married and have 3 kids. Like,
Exactly.
I'm not saying it would be easy,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
I didn't do anything easy either. So it's not like
Absolutely.
I'm speaking from a glass house, bitch.
Right. Absolutely. I think that's the thing is that you make the hard choices that they get frustrated with, but then don't realize they can make similar choices. Like, yeah, everything is a choice. Nothing is
Mhm.
like, I feel like now, especially with my sister having baby too, I feel like it's gonna exacerbate that feeling of, well, I gotta do this because I don't have a choice. Actually, you always have a choice. You can literally leave those two babies and go somewhere else. If
Yeah,
that's in the realm of like, but in her mind, she probably doesn't even allow herself to think that possibility. But you can literally do anything. You are not trapped.
fuck
So I
those
think
kids.
fuck those kids, literally. But I think I think we just, yeah, in that culture, it's very much like sacrifice, sacrifice, sacrifice. And that's like the currency. Like that's like what puts you above in terms of like moral high grounds is like how much you sacrificed. Self-preservation is not a thing.
But then exactly, but someone this is a pyramid scheme because it's like
Right.
everyone's sacrificing, bitch, where did it all go?
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Exactly.
like it's just someone it's patriarchy
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
I don't
I
know.
agree.
That's what I saw through that I feel like I was like people were really trying to I was always called selfish by my family. Like
Me
they'd definitely
too.
be like, "Oh, you're so selfish, you're so selfish." But I definitely went into self-preservation because I was like, I don't really like you guys that much. And
Right.
like also like when we are having this like shared time, it's not even enjoyable. So it's like, yeah, I am gonna actually
Yeah.
opt out.
Yeah. Absolutely. Because you were forced in. That's the thing too. It wasn't your
Yeah.
choice to be in that family or to be born or anything. So then
Literally.
how is it? Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I wish they understood the gravity of the situation. Like we did what we had to do in terms of like self-preserving.
They do, but they just see like I mean, depending on how religious you are, it's like, "Well, I'm trying to get to heaven, girl. What are you gonna you're gonna burn in hell." And it's like, "Okay, yeah, and I'm gonna get my Hogwarts letter next week."
Yeah. Honestly,
Goodbye,
hell is
Kadabra.
gonna be lit. All the cool people will be in hell.
This is the thing though, if you're if you're on fire forever, wouldn't you just like if all you're feeling is pain, are you even in pain
In
anymore?
pain?
Like
Yeah.
you
خلاص,
can't pain
that's
torture
baseline.
cannot be anyway, it's fine. We can't go into a philosophy lesson, but
Yeah.
um What is a way you've had to learn how to love yourself that still surprises you?
Hmm.
This is good because 'cause you're in a relationship, so I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Honestly, again, it goes back to being honest with yourself and others. I feel like communication is so key. Like not letting any feeling in the right time. There's always a right time to bring stuff up, but like if you feel something, you have to say it because if you don't, if you try to ignore it, if you try to like push it away, it's always going to be there. That John and I's relationship suffered our first year because of that reason. Like I just was not confronting my sexual trauma and like my issues with
Mm.
sex and all of that and like being honest with the kind of relationship I want. And then yeah, I feel like once I was able to once you're able to be actually two things. Honesty, but also put yourself in spaces where there's no shame. Like people don't shame you for things.
Or
Or
also, but here's the thing, because people will try to shame you anyway, but just do not take on other people's shames. Talk your shit.
yeah,
You
yeah.
have to really get into that narcissistic moment of like, this is all about me. I need to say these things.
Yeah.
And like, however the other person feels about it is really not your fucking problem.
Right. I
Which is
remember
also, and it's a skill that you have to learn.
yes, it really is actually. I remember having a conversation with an asexual friend where I was like detailing something related to Grindr or whatever, and I could almost see a look of disgust in their face. And you know what? It actually was funny to me where I was like, wow, it's so funny how I can see how that to some people would feel like the judgy. You have to not let people judge you, which is what you're
Mm.
saying. Like
Yeah.
just vibe, just say your truth. And if other people don't think it's valid, that's on them. It's not you. Obviously, like to an extent, if like every single person around you is saying, girl, you're crazy, I think that's
Yeah.
a different story. But if one person says it or like one person makes you feel a certain type of way, that's not on you, it's on them. And I also don't think that that necessarily means you should cut them out because I think
No.
it's healthy to have people have like differing opinions about things and to be
But be
able
will
to
like, the thing is, you should answer questions. Like, the thing is, there's a difference in being shamed versus being interrogated.
right.
Like, I have some strong opinions about sensitive topics, and I'll be interrogated for them all day, and maybe my opinion will change based off that interrogation, but, like, that's how you grow.
Yeah,
If you don't share your opinions
right.
that are racist, no one's gonna ever tell you that you're racist, and you're never gonna figure it out if you don't discuss it to get to the bottom of it.
That's true. Yeah, like don't be in an echo chamber. Like don't surround yourself with surround yourself with a circle of safety where people actually are able to like voice their different opinions and stuff.
But that doesn't happen. I'm telling you, if I could duplicate myself 7 times and have my own group of friends, like, we would be killing it.
I have a feeling you guys would kill each other.
No, people think that for real, but, like, I'm like, when it comes to confrontation, if I respond to someone else being confrontational very well,
Okay.
because as an oppositional person, if I see someone else crashing out,
Yeah.
I usually will, like, take a step back to be like, "Okay, why are they crashing out?"
Yeah. Why don't you
And then
ask ChatGPT, hey ChatGPT, be Khalil and have a
and then
conversation with it.
have a conversation. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
That would be cute. I would love to
Because
see that.
I'm currently having, like, beef with a good friend because of how uncomfortable they are with confrontation,
Mm,
where it's just like, I don't care, like, I really don't give a fuck that someone feels scared or intimidated by me, especially if you're a good friend of mine. Like, your intimidation isn't because I'm intimidating, it's coming from somewhere else because you know me. Like, we've been around each other, like, I'm not gonna take on all the shame from all your, like, people-pleasing mentality from your life and be like, "Oh, let me handhold you," because I have my own shit too,
yeah. I think it's
right?
still, yeah, I agree. But in that kind of situation, then you should just give them space and let them figure that out. And if they don't
Of
figure that out,
course,
it's
but
on them.
for me, like, as time goes on, that's the thing, like, you're dealing with someone who's on a specific mission and who's also been abandoned in the past, so I'm giving my parents however many years it takes for them to figure out. I don't have time to give you 6
Yeah.
months
Yeah.
to figure out how you feel about some bullshit
Because you're moving
friend
as
drama,
well. Yeah.
right? Like, But the thing is, I'm also people do know this about me. So then the part where I get in, where it's just like, if you're treating me like that, you know this about me. I talk about this endlessly. You don't respect me.
Hmm.
You don't actually see me.
Yeah. But what if like I don't know. I can't defend this person. I don't know what their story is or what they're like.
They're just like a tender queer. It's like, get over your own feelings.
Yeah. 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 I see that. Next.
Yeah, like honestly, if you're a tender queer, do not approach.
I think I'm a tender. What's a tender queer?
You're not a tender queer.
What's a tender
I
queer?
th- a tender queer, I feel like to me they have an element of like PC sensitivity,
Mm,
likely use a they pronoun, not necessarily. Um, they're just very like, ooh, I'm a baby, like
I
that kind of like
see. I
queer.
see.
You do have elements of that, but you're also like a little gremlin bitch.
Okay, good.
And
Good.
you can like the thing is, it's like if I yell at you, you'll yell back. You're not gonna like freeze and like, oh, I need to not talk to you for 6 months because I'm traumatized.
Mm. Okay.
You made me really feel unsafe. Like the bitches that take their when they're uncomfortable and then they're like, I'm unsafe. I was scared. Shut up.
Yeah, I know that is annoying. I'm sorry.
Those people, it's like, yeah, maybe I should have hit you then. I would never. I would never.
Yeah, I know. I know. I know.
The worst thing yeah, anyway, it's fine. Um, how do you hold space for rage without it eating you?
How do you hold space for rage without it eating you? Oh wow, that is such a valid question. The person I feel the most rage towards or used to is probably my dad. So I bet you're probably gonna relate to this. But
Yeah.
I think I used to think about it a lot and it would like be all consuming. And then I realized, you know what? There's no solution to this anytime soon. So just forget about it. That's like
Yep.
one of the few things I've actually been like, you know what? Why do I have to deal with this now? Because I'm the type of person who's like, deal with things and I have to like sit here and have a solution right now. I have to like plan everything 5 years from now. That is one of the few things that I'm like, you know what? Deal with it with as like sometimes I'll be at a concert. Like literally, I was at a concert recently, tennis. And I remember in the middle of the concert thinking about, oh, I'm moving to Baltimore. Oh, I'm moving with John again. Oh, my parents don't know that he's moving with me. Oh, this is going to be an issue. Oh, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Like going down that
Mhm.
cycle. And I was like, wait, I'm in New York right now. I have like, you know what I mean? Like, this is not something I have to deal with
Yeah.
anytime soon. They're busy with a newborn child. I'm fine. You know, like it's just
Yeah.
not important. So I think it's just being able to like remind yourself that dealing with things isn't always a good thing. Like sometimes
No.
ignore them is fun.
I mean, I say give it to God. That's
Yeah.
my version of ignore it. But like if it's something where I get stuck, like for example, I bought a plane ticket last week and then the fucking confirmation email didn't come. And it wasn't that big of a deal,
But
but
I
this
get
was like a thing that had a tangible solution, and it was something so small, and I was like, "Great." Like, I was crashing out over the fact I had to call the airline.
yeah.
They were gonna put me on hold for fucking ever, and then I was like, "But I put my email in right because my email auto puts in." I was like, "Is my auto email wrong?" And then I'm just, like, thinking about all the ways I can prevent this in the future, or is it the website, like, going back Googling if there's a way I don't have to call, when it's like, I could have just dealt with it, like, the flight isn't until, like it's not for, like, 3 weeks, so it's like I could have dealt with it at any time. Um, so this is something I'm still working on,
Yeah.
is certain things I really, like, hold on to with a death grip.
Thing is, I'm the same way. If something like that were to happen to me, like if I get a bill, for example, I have to pay it right away. Like I can't just put things off. Like you said, tangible things, I'm the same way. If I can
Yeah.
fix it now, I will, and it will drive me nuts. That's why I actually am not allowed to build furniture. In our like duo, I'm the one that does not build the furniture because I will start screaming at some point. One time I was trying to build this like small nightstand, and you know how it has that rolling part for the
Yeah.
drawer? It just wasn't working, and I think I just broke the thing.
You just
Like,
started
it's
slamming
fully I
it.
fully started, like, smashing it, and, like, yeah, John was like, "Okay, you're never doing that again."
That I don't get that. I don't get that crazy. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I can't build
That's
things.
your trauma jumping out.
Yeah, I can't.
But I will get there if something is, like I could see myself getting there, but that's definitely pretty rare for me. Like, I don't have the physical violent, like, mentality. Like, the worst thing I'll wanna do is, like, spit.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I will break objects if I want.
That's a good one, though. Sometimes I do. So I think I what is satisfying enough for me is sometimes I imagine myself doing it. Like, I really think about throwing a brick through my parents', like, window
Just
in
make
one
sure no
of
one's
their
behind
properties.
there.
Who gives a fuck?
No, because
Like,
that would do
people be
damage.
breaking windows all the time. Like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you don't want me to hit a person."
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't I mean, I would do it at night, though.
Right, right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, or
But
even
that also that sometimes, like, I have a really vivid daydreaming ability,
oh,
so I
me
feel like
too.
thinking of that sometimes helps me let it go.
Yeah, I get that. Like, just picture yourself getting invited to your parents' house, walking in there, taking all their, like, expensive china and just smashing it on the floor in front of them, and then walking out.
I wouldn't need to get invited. No, no, no. My fantasy is I go in the middle of the night, I have a brick
Mm.
that says "From your faggot son," and I just throw it through the window.
You should write it in Arabic. Faggot in Arabic is, it's either jins or
Maniac?
maniac, it means fucked, like you're fucked.
Oh, like you're
It's not
retarded.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I have been
No,
called
no,
retarded my whole life.
maniuk means you're fucked.
Yeah.
Maniac is you're a fuck. But,
Oh, bottom. Like you're a bottom.
and no, maniac is just you're a like, it's like a fucktard, I guess. So yeah,
Oh, like
yeah,
okay.
yeah, 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 it is. But no,
Go.
gay, I'm trying to remember the insults. Jins. Yeah, that's what the Khaliji boys would say, like gay.
Mm,
Yeah, anyway. Next.
slay. So for in terms of rage,
Mm.
um, I don't know. I think having a vivid imagination helps and then going on a walk. Doing the write a letter and just write out your nastiest fucking thoughts. Like, you gotta really get in there.
Yeah,
Like, that's what the thing is. I will, like, threaten someone with words, but I don't actually mean it. But it just helps to be like,
yeah,
"Oh, if I could punch you in the fucking face right
yeah.
now." Like,
I
you know what I
get
mean?
your
Like,
kneecaps.
yeah, it helps. Maybe, like, because in this legal world where people take that shit seriously, depending on who you're talking to, it's better to write that shit, think about it, and then not send it, not act on it.
Agreed, agreed. I know that you're not
I
go ahead.
I do have a fantasy where and I have done this before where I've invited someone to swing first.
Really?
Oh, yeah, I love doing
Oh,
that.
but that's in a fantasy. That hasn't actually
No, also, I mean, one time at a party, I got into a fight with this guy, and then I called him a cunt, and he's like, I'll show you being a cunt." And I said, "Show me." And I was, like, standing, right in front of him, I said, "Show me." And it's very that's, like, less rage and more of a calm, like, "Okay, like, I have a handle on this."
yeah, yeah, yeah. Did they actually show you?
No, they didn't.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I don't like physical violence. I'm not a good fighter. I
But
wouldn't
I
be
am
good.
I'm strategic with it. So if I think I can take you, then I will go that
Good,
direction.
good,
That's
good.
where it's like it's not crash out reckless. Like
Yeah,
if I see some 6'2" motherfucker, like I'm not about to go crazy and crash out. Like I'm
yeah,
smart
yeah,
enough to be like, okay, I'm gonna walk away from this. But if I have a dominant like the thing that's why I'm a bully.
yeah.
If I dominate you, it's over.
Yeah, done. That's the relationship forever. I was gonna say you don't actually I think both of us, we don't, like, do the usual routes of self-care. Like, I bet normal people would say, like, getting a massage. I know, because
Mm.
I know you said you don't like getting massages. Like, or rather it doesn't you get them, but it doesn't I remember you said it doesn't, like,
It's not very like, "Oh, I feel relaxed
relax it.
after." No.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think I going for a swim really helps. I feel like being in, like, an entire different, like, sensory
Yeah.
environment, and also the temperature change, like,
Right.
working out, exercising, and sometimes, like, man, I'll be in my daydreaming head swimming, and I'll realize I'm like, "Whoa, I just did, like, 2 laps and barely breathed." 'Cause you're just so in it, but, like, that's kinda like when you get the best workouts in.
Absolutely. Yeah, working out is definitely a big one for me too. Um Yeah, I feel like a disordered way that I self-care is maybe when I, like, regiment everything, because I like
Mm.
routine. So when things feel like they happen in a specific way, I feel like that's self-care. But I think that's false because then if something doesn't happen the way I want it to, I crash out or think that that means that everything is fucked. You know what I mean? Like if in my
Yeah.
mind, I was like, dinner today is gonna be a burger, but I have something else because I was invited somewhere else. To me, that's a failure.
Girl, that's mental illness.
It is. It's just
That's
it's
mental
like
illness.
OCD tendencies. Like
Yeah,
I
it's
want to
over.
be able to like control things.
I didn't know that about you. But I feel like a lot of people actually do think like that.
Yeah. Like, but but see, the thing is like if I'm on vacation, then
Mhm.
everything is off limits in the sense like if I didn't like, it's so funny. Like, for example, if I'm in Spain or Italy or whatever, and every day I'm eating like junk, it won't matter. But then say I'm back home, routine, and then I'm eating totally fine, but then one thing is out of what I expected I would be eating, then that's a failure. So it's so funny how like it's all or nothing.
I'm trying to think about moments where I'm like that. I feel like there's definitely things that will make me crash out, but it's more like triggers within relationships.
Mm.
For example, my friend did something weird at the beach the other day, and this friend is very boy crazy, very
Mm.
loves the male gaze, I will say. And I think you'll think this is weird too. This beach is not very big. It's like, I don't know, takes 10 minutes to walk up and down the whole thing. And it's also been severely eroded. So it's also not very, like the shoreline is not long to make a point. So I come to the beach hours earlier. I text my friend, like, cause we had plans to hang out Wednesday and it's like, we're going to do something Wednesday. We weren't sure what. That morning, I was like, oh, I know I want to be at the beach.
Mhm.
So I was like, oh, I'm going to be at this beach. Come meet me. And they were like, perfect. Blah, blah, blah. They show up to the beach. They're like, "Hey, couldn't find you. I'm just, like, over down somewhere else." And I was like, "Girl," so I, like, call them, no answer. Send them a text. I sent them 3 different pins at 3 different times of, like, where I was. Called them, no call back. I'm like, "'Kay." I gave them, like, 10 minutes, let's say. And then I was getting rage because we were at the gay nude beach, and I was like, "This bitch is over at the, like, side where everyone's cruising, like, all the
Yeah.
hotties are, blah, blah, blah." And not that I'm, like again, I don't hate on that, but it's just, like, that when I came earlier to the beach, I had my books, I had my headphones, I didn't wanna be by people
Right.
playing music.
Right.
So, I set up my beach area in the quiet zone. So, I go over and I'm pissed to
Yeah.
get him, right?
Yeah.
And he's, like, set up with a beach towel already, like, naked, like, at the beach spot, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" And he's like, "Hey, like, how's your spot? Like, good?" And it's like, "Yeah, no, I've been sitting in a fucking horrible beach spot all day." Like, are we hanging out or not? Like, it's not about, like, being over there or whatever, it's just, like, you came to a place to meet
Yeah.
me, and I
Yeah.
feel like this is very our culture mentality.
Right.
You disrespected me
Yeah.
by not coming to see me first.
Yes, yes. I think that goes back to like the communication. If you wanted to come to the beach to like be in a sexy spot and cruise or whatever, then say that. Like he
Yeah.
could have texted you that on his way, being like, "Hey, by the way, I wanna just letting you know
And
I'm
this
gonna."
but or come find me first. The thing is he come find me and say, "I
Yeah.
wanna be in a different spot." Like,
Right.
that's the part that was weird to me. Like,
Yeah,
why
yeah,
did you
yeah.
just set up on the ground being like, "This is 2 different hangs?"
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly. It's supposed to be that you guys were going to hang out with each other. That is weird. I agree
But
with you.
I had a crash out over that because it was very triggering to me because it's just like, "Bitch, like, what are you here for?"
Yeah, yeah. No, literally. Like, did you want to hang out or did you just, which is fine. Like, if you had ulterior motives, just make them clear. Like, say
But me and
from
this
the
friend,
beginning.
we cannot go to the beach together. I'm like, every time we've been to the beach, something has gone wrong.
Yeah.
There was one time we were at the beach, and I know one of our mutual friends listens to this podcast, so he's gonna know exactly who I'm talking about. But there was just these, like, 2 old men, like, checking us out. Like, not even being really creepy, but just, like, checking us out. I was like, "Whatever." And the amount of, like, vitriol and hate that came out of my friend's mouth, I was just so, like, disgusted because it's like, "Girl, just because they're ugly and gross doesn't mean that they don't get to, like, appreciate you.
Yeah.
They're, like, 50 feet away just looking.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
cares?"
Oh, yeah. That is
I thought
weird.
that was so, like and, like, they've been doing better. I'm not trying to shit on them completely on this podcast if they end up listening to this, but there's still kind of that, like it gives, like, insecurity to be, like, a hot person. It's like, we get it, you're hot, and, like, you have hot people around you and like this, and this. But it's like, haven't you proved that to yourself yet? And I just feel like when we're around, specifically a lot of gay guys, something happens to them and they just like lose all self control.
That reminds me of like high school where people would want to be friends with people who are cooler than them. Like they wouldn't want to hang out with people that they think other people might think are lame. Like that to me never made sense.
Yeah, it's like a lighter version of that because it's more like it's more where they like direct their energy towards
Mm.
rather than it's like it's not like they don't want to be friends with like loser and lames, but I feel like if there's a white guy like it okay, we were in Mexico together, right? I hooked up with this Scottish guy the night before and he's very conventionally attractive, tall, muscular, like handsome guy. I'm with my friends the next day. We go to some random karaoke bar and I see the guy that I hooked up with, like, and he's, I'm with, like, including us. He's like one of the other like hot guys at the bar. My friend knows that I just hooked up with this man like last night. Like, his dick is still wet from my saliva.
Yeah.
And he runs over to him like a puppy. Like you could like it's so obvious to see that he was flirting. And it's not even that I'm like territorial like that, but it's like out of all the guys here
Yeah.
that I'm with, of course you were the one that went straight for this man
Mm.
within 10 minutes of being here. Like
Yeah, that's a
like
lot.
it was just like, girl, you're really playing into your own stereotype.
Truly. No, truly. Which a tangent, but what is your rule for like if you hooked up with someone and like a friend? Do you have boundaries about that? Like, do you like even like let's say people you've dated? Are you okay with friends dating them subsequently, or how do you go about that?
No, I don't give a shit. You can do whatever you want. I think the thing is, as long as like I would want there to be like with that one, like because my friend did know that I just hooked up with this man. He should have asked me like, "Hey, can I try?" And I would have been like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
go for it, girl." Like just like a level of communication is fine. But I have definitely like my old toxic trait used to be like I used to get mad at people. I used to be one of the bitches that get mad when I didn't get a text back. If I see you like post on Instagram, I'd be like, "But you haven't texted me back though."
Oh
So I
yeah.
kind of I made the radical shift of what you do with your body and your time is none of my business.
Yeah.
So like with people I date, it's like if you want to fuck my friend, like that's cool.
Yeah.
But I feel like like in terms of like a respect thing, it's just like a check-in would be nice, but I'm never gonna say no.
Right. I
Or
feel
even just like an FYI. Like I respect when someone's like, you might not like this, but I'm about to do it. If someone says that to me, I'm gonna like what you do.
yeah, yeah,
Someone could be
yeah.
like, "Oh, I'm about to punch you in the face right now, but I'm gonna do it." And I'm be like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead. You're a
Go ahead.
bitch
Good
for that.
for you. Good for
For
you.
you." And I'll
Yeah.
I'll be like this,
Yeah,
ready.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's so funny. I used to be the same way. If like I am texting someone and they're not responding, and then I see that they're like doing something, like posting on social media or whatever, it used to drive me nuts. And then I realized, oh, it's not me, it's them. They,
But also, I also realized too, like when I get busy, it's like there's just certain messages where it's like,
yeah,
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 you
yeah.
literally just don't
We'll
need
deal with it
the
later.
you'll
Yeah.
deal with it later, but I need to post this thirst trap now.
Yes. I get it. I get it. I get it.
And yeah, I think it's a better mentality to rather than try to think of all the scenarios someone else is thinking of, just be like, mind your business.
Yeah.
That's also a form of self care is minding
Mind
your
your
fucking
business.
business.
Agreed.
When you mind your business, you will be like, you have this much left to nirvana.
What will bridge the gap?
I think letting go of completely of desire and expectation.
Yeah, that's hard.
But those are the only other two forms of suffering left.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
Oh,
and like desire is a really tough one to get rid of. Like you got to be fasting for days for that one. You got to be not talking to anybody. Like there's so much desire in my life personally and exactly. I
yeah.
think we everyone could see desire. And expectations is like
That's hard too.
that's also a hard one because you
'Cause
just
we all expect things.
you expect us like I expect a certain level of respect from my friends, but it's like, do I have a right to do that? Do I not? Like
But not just from
everything
your
is
friends, but also in life. Like, for example,
I don't
you
expect respect from people anymore.
not people, but like things. Like you
Mm,
expect that you worked hard enough, you deserve the next phase in your life, you're
yes.
gonna get it, blah blah
You
blah.
expect the groceries to be there at the
Yeah,
store. You
yeah.
expect the water to run from your tap.
Right.
And true, there will come a day when that shit won't be happening anymore, and it will feel surreal.
Yeah, when like the world is ending, literally.
Well, I mean, like the skies are always smog every summer,
Yeah,
from forest fires.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It is what it is.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay, what as a self-care thing you're bad at but trying?
Maybe letting go of things, like letting go of like expectations. I think like I am that bitch that's like I, for example, I remember, so I still pray, but like whenever I feel like it. It's not like I don't do the whole 5 times a day thing.
Mm.
But when I do feel like talking to God and I'm like praying for things, it used to be a long time ago, I would pray for tangible things. Like,
Mm.
I want a good grade on this exam. I want this car. I want
Yeah.
that. But now I've shifted my intentions to be more like, bring good things to me, keep bad
Mm.
things away from me, blah, blah, blah.
Very
Because
nice.
I don't know what those things are. Like, maybe getting that car, I'll crash it next week, you know?
Right.
So I think
That's so Islamic, like, mentality of, like, yeah, maybe you're not rich because if you were rich, you'd be sinful.
yeah. Right, it's just like making excuses for your shitty ass life.
Yeah.
But that I'm trying to like change my outlook. Like I don't need to like, for example, I have a DJ gig coming up next week, and I like have to let go of that expectation of it needs to go a certain way. It's okay if I flop. It's not the end of the world. I don't need this. Like I always have to remind myself that. But then I say that, but I am still very nervous. You know what I mean? Like I still
Oh,
get
that's so
anxious.
cute.
I still get like, yeah, I'm like, I want people to like it, but then why? Like, yeah, so it's like back and forth.
But I guess it's like it's always I mean, for me, it's always helpful. I mean, it's hard because when I was doing comedy, I used to get so nervous. And then now that I've quit and I think about it now, I'm like, how fucking stupid was I? Like that it's just like taking yourself seriously is
Yeah,
gonna be your biggest downfall.
absolutely. Nothing is that serious. It does not
Nothing's
matter.
ever that serious.
Yeah, you in that one comedy club or one venue or whatever, it's not gonna change anything.
No, and it's like the thing is, I guess like when I did flop that one time, I guess it kind of made me realize that it's like I'm not embarrassed of flopping, but I'm flopping right now because I don't care. And I don't care about this thing. So why when I don't care about something, it's taking away from my battery.
Oh,
But
I
like
see.
doing this podcast like adds to my battery. Like every message we get, every comment, like all the little like things it
Yeah,
feeds
yeah,
me,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah, a lot of people actually, two of my friends reached out about that 3-minute reel. They actually watched it the whole way through because they all messaged me about the Molly thing, and the Molly thing was at the end of the 3-minute reel.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Oh, that's nice." They actually watched the whole way through.
People liked it from because that's the way people are watching this podcast if they are, like most people.
Right.
I think like collectively, maybe each episode gets like 150 views between every platform, maybe 200
Nice.
between every platform.
It's a
Like,
lot of
and I don't know
people.
how much they're actually watching.
Yeah.
20 minutes, 30 minutes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
What am I trying that I am getting better at? I've always been on my sweetheart journey. I've always been like as I've gained more capacity, as I um find stability in this world and like my place in it, I have been able to give more
Mm.
sympathy and empathy than I've ever been. It's still not a lot. It's still not a shit ton, but like I am really
I'm glad you are aware of that at least. Yeah, instead of you being like, "Wow, I am so perfect right now. I'm completely like."
I don't know. I'll list all my problems right now. Like I
No,
do
no, no.
think I get very self-righteous. I'm sloppy. I'm a cunt. I'm pretty shallow. I have deep emotional attachment issues. And like, I don't know, there's definitely some like uh
Generational trauma.
generational trauma, but I look BPD. BPD or autism or like
Borderline
ADHD.
personality. Mm,
Mhm.
cute. That's a tasty one.
I know, but the thing is, like, we're in the era of like those identities kind of give you clout.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's maybe it's toxic for me because like, I don't know, people are like in the way that like Trisha Paytas kind of has her like her that way she got attention. It kind of like it validated maybe more of her toxic traits.
Yes.
So then
She
she kind
kept
of,
doing
but
it.
she kept doing it. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to like refine. Like I see the things that people like and enjoy and the things about me that bring people joy. So rather than like completely change it, it's like how can I, refine this for
Yeah.
it to be more mature, more uh uh less destructive, like because I'm a fire
Controlled.
sign,
Yeah.
more controlled. Like the fire is the center of like a home, but it can
Yeah.
also burn the fucking thing down.
Absolutely.
But the thing about fire is you have to respect it. You
Right.
have to feed it, you have to fan it,
Right.
you have to watch it.
That's a great
Like,
analogy.
and I do talk about myself like that. It's like, don't let me dominate you. You
Yeah, yeah,
also
yeah.
respect me.
Yes. Like, you have to keep me in check every now and then, but
Like, and I do invite them.
yeah,
But the thing
yeah,
is,
yeah.
I have to get better at understanding like the subtle ways in which people show that, they're uncomfortable, they're apprehensive. But at the same time, I'm not gonna burden myself with that too much because again, I am still a queer Palestinian and like all you bitches are fucking vultures.
Yeah.
So just because you're a vulture with a broken leg doesn't mean that if your leg wasn't broken, you'd be trying to fucking pick my eye out, bitch.
Right, 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 right.
I'm not gonna kick you while you're down, but that doesn't necessarily mean I'm trying to help you.
Right. That's growth. Recognizing that. I agree. I think, yeah, like you're aware of your labels and your situation. People need to be
Mhm.
aware of theirs.
Exactly. Like I know where I'm trying to go and where not go, like I see my path forward a little bit
Mm.
and what I hope it is. And that's what I'm walking on and I'm open.
Yep. An hour
I
and
think
2 minutes. I think that is the episode. I
I
was
feel like
gonna
I really
say,
ate. Oh,
yeah. Oh,
I was about to say I ate with that ending, but
you did actually. I know.
add more. Add more.
No, I don't want to have the last laugh. I was gonna say
No,
this might be the last episode in a while, by the way,
oh, that's crazy.
because
You don't want to find like a sporadic time to film an episode here and there.
we could, but wouldn't it be
You
better?
could. No, 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 no. You could.
I could, but wouldn't it be better? Wouldn't it make more sense to like? Because I'd rather us not like release one episode a month in the next 2 months. Wouldn't it make sense to maybe take a break and then come back and like resume as if it's like season 2?
Oh, like okay, so I was actually thinking also about a hiatus.
Well, it doesn't have to be like what we could still film like 1 or 2 episodes in the next
Okay, the thing
months.
is,
But
okay, I
then
guess there's like
if we film 1 or 2 episodes in the next 2 months, I think it makes sense to not release them until we're back on a consistent schedule. Like they can be like reserved schedule, like like kind of like what we did in the beginning, where we had a couple episodes that were just waiting to be published. I think it makes sense to be publishing regularly and not have interruptions.
okay, I have to remind myself to take it not that seriously because it's not life or death anyway.
Yeah, but what are you
Like
feeling?
I was also feeling like, oh, I was actually thinking the other day, I was like, oh, I want to tell Hailey like we should take a break. Like
Mm.
I was feeling like tired and I have other shit to do, and I'm like, nah, whatever. Like it'll always be there. But then I was talking to my friend Brendan about it, and then he was like, "Why you just got started?" And it's just like kind of how I was feeling in the first place. And I was like, "No, that's so true." But
But I mean, we're still gonna
I
be
think
here. I don't
we're
think
still
it's
gonna be here. I actually think a break is fine. If yeah, I think we could. I think it's fine.
how about we'll think about it and then we can talk about it again if we want to.